So try this one, bring it up. 2 times 3 minus 6. The answer to this one is 6 minus 6 is 0. Number 2. On this problem, you have to do the 2 plus 5 first, which is 7. And then anytime you have a number up against a set of parentheses like this, that means times. So 3 times 7 is 21. Number 3. You have to start with 10 minus 6 first. 10 minus 6 is going to be 4. So you have the 4 up against the parentheses. That means times, so 4 times 4 is 16. Number 4. "11 plus 3 is 14. And you have that 5 outside, which means multiplication. So 5 times 14 would be 70. Number 5. "12 minus 7 is 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Pick a number from 1 to 5 and put your last name on it. Drop it off up here on the table. The winning number was 2. Today's first objective is going to be to multiply decimals and round. Here's example number 1. This will be just like what we had on the pre-test. This one is 4.25 times 7.3, and you have to round to 2 decimal places when you get the answer. Alright, what you do is you set it up like this: 4.25 over top of 7.3, and then go back and multiply. So start here with the 3 and multiply it by each of these items going that way. So we start with 3 times 5 is 15, but you just put 5. And then you're going to carry that 1 from the 15 to this multiplication. 3 times 2 is 6, but plus the 1 that we had would give us 7. Now there's nothing to carry to here. 3 times 4 is simply going to be 12. Now put a 0 here. Underline, because you're now at the end of your multiplication. 7 times 5 is 35. You write the 5, but you carry the 3 over to this next one. You're doing 7 times 2, which is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. Just write the 7 and carry that 1 over to here. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. Now add them up. 5 and 0. 7 plus 5 is 12, but carry that 1 here. 7 and 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Carry that 1 here. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Carry the other 1 there to get 2 plus 1 is 3. Now when you get to this spot, you have to count up how many numbers you have to the right of the decimal points in your problem. There's 1, 2, and 3 numbers that are to the right of a decimal point. So start here and go 1, 2, 3. That's where the decimal point would be at in your answer. Now to round to 2 decimal places, you're going to round to this place, which means you look at this number, and if it is 5 or higher, then you round this one up. So this one is 5 or higher. So our answer is 31.03. Example number 2. The problem is 7.36 times 4.2. And we have to round to the first decimal place, which would be the tenths place. Alright, so write it like this. 7.36 times 4.2. And you're going to do 2 times this first. That's going to give us 12. You write the 2, but where does the 1 go? Where do I put the 1? Carry it over and put it over top of what number? The 3, yes. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is what? 7. Alright, now I do 2 times 7 and come up with 14. What do I put, what's the first number I write on the next line? 0. Alright, now what's the first multiplication I do? 4 times 6 is what? What's 4 times 6? 24. So I put a 4. And then what happens to the 2? We carry it over and put it where? By the 3, yeah. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 2 is 14. I put the 4 down, but where do I put the 1? By the 7, yes, I put it by the 7. So 4 times 7 is 28, plus that 1 is 29. Now I'm going to add straight down to get my answer. So 2 times 0 is 2. 7 times 4 is 11, but I carry the other 1 here. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. Put the 0 there, but carry the 1 to there. 1 plus 2 is 3. How many numbers do I have to the right of a decimal point in the problem? 3. So I start here and go 1, 2, 3. And I should have 30.912. Now I'm rounding to one place, the tenths place, which is right here. So I look at the number that is to the right of it. Is that number 5 or higher? No, it's not. So we leave the 9 the way it is. Your answer should be 30.9. Here is practice problem number 1. Alright, on the practice problem, you should have 8.46 times 2.7. And when you multiply this out, it'll be 42. Carry the 4. 28 plus 4 is 32. So we carry this 3 there. 7 times 8 is 56. 56 plus 3 is 59. Put a 0. And then 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1 there. 2 times 8 plus 1 will be 9. And then 2 times 8 is going to be 16. So when you add them up, you have 2, 4, 8, 2, and 2. You have 3 numbers to the right of a decimal point. So you go back 3 places. And you should come out with 22.842, but you're rounding to the hundredths place, which is this. That's less than 5, so it's 22.84. Bonus number 1. On the bonus problem, you always have to do multiplication before you do addition. So the order of operations are parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. So you have to do multiplication here first to get a 24. And then you're going to add the 3 to it to get a 27. Practice number 2. The problem is 4.56 times 3.5. On the practice problem, let's write it like this. 4.56 over top of 3.5 and multiply. 5 times 6 is 30, so we carry the 3 to here to get a 28 and the 2 to there to get a 22. Place a 0 there. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1 to here to get 16 and carry that 1 there to get a 13. Add them up to get 0, 6, 9, 5, and 1. So we have 3 numbers to the right of a decimal point. So we have to go back from the right that many places. 15.96 is all you have to write. And there were no instructions on what to round to, so you just have to write what you get, and the answer is 15.96. Bonus number 1. On the bonus problem, you have to do this first. 3 times 4 is 12. And then this, 2 times 6 is 12. And then add those two 12s together to get 24. Bonus number 2. You have to do multiplication before anything else. So 5 times 2 is 10. And you still have 3 plus and minus 1. Now when you have plus and minus, you have to do them in order left to right. 3 plus 10 is 13. Minus 1 should be 12. Example number 3. The problem is 7.49 times 4.1. What is the first thing that I have to do on this problem? What 2 things do I multiply first? 9 times 1 and I get 9. What's the next thing I have to do? 4 times 1, and what's the next thing? 7 times 1. So that part's easy when you have a 1 there. What's the next thing that I write? 0. Where do I put it? Under the 9. Now what do I multiply first? What's 4 times 9? Yep, 36. So what number do I write? And where do I write it? Under the 4. I write a 6 under the 4. What happens to the 3 from the 36? Yeah, it goes above the 4. And now what do I do next? 4 times 4 is what? 16, and do I add something to it? So what's 16 plus 3? 19. What do I write?
9 and then a 1 on the 7.
Yeah, write 9 and then a 1 on the 7. What do I multiply next? 4 times 7 is what? 28. And what do I write? Why do I write 29? Yeah, you had the 1 up there, so I have to write 29. Alright, if I add these up, I come up with 9, a 0, 7, 10, and 3. We have 3 decimal points, so it should be 30.709. Practice number 3. bring this up, 9.52 times 2.6. Bonus number 1.